All right. Good evening, y'all. Uh, well, we've got a little bit of news concerning Matthew Stafford's elbow, and is considered to be bad tendinitis, um, which causes a minor bit of a concern. Let's go ahead and get into this article here. Matthew Stafford played through some pain in his throwing arm last season. So in the off season, he had an anti-inflammatory injection into his right elbow. The team didn't allow him to throw during OTAs and minicamp, saving him for training camp, which was a wise decision. And after starting training camp as he normally would, Stafford's workload has since been limited. He felt some pain in his right elbow this week. He was not expected to throw in team drills for the rest of camp, as the team keeps the long-term goals in sight and having him healthy for the entire season. Okay, and this is what Ian Rappaport said. This was earlier today. All right, it was called bad tendonitis was the quote, and this was what Ian Rappaport of the NFL Network was saying here. Quote, my understanding, this elbow issue, which actually cropped up in the spring, is described to me as bad tendonitis. He said it is a tendon issue in his throwing elbow and a little bit of a procedure, not a surgery, but a procedure, more of a PRP type deal in the offseason to try to manage it. Did not get to a place where he really needs it to be. I think long term, everyone in LA thinks it's going to be fine. I don't sense any stress about it. Okay, that was earlier today. And this report just came out not too long ago. Sean McVay spoke to the media after practice today, and according to him, Stafford's elbow injury is a little bit abnormal for a quarterback. Come on now. That is Sean's words. So let's go ahead and see what he had to say here. Sean is trying to do what he can to lessen the concern about Matthew Stafford's elbow injury, but with each passing day, the stress level from fans heightened. Stafford has been on a limited workload in camp after undergoing an injection in the offseason, like we were just talking about. They are sticking to the plan that the Rams will have to get him ready for week 1 against the Bills. Unfortunately, Stafford is still having pain in his throwing arm, and as a result, he did not throw at all on Wednesday, so yesterday's practice, and will be limited to only individual drills for the rest of camp. On Thursday, McVay provided another update to Matthew, and wasn't exactly reassuring, so let's go ahead and see what Sean said here. He is quoted. It is a little bit abnormal for a quarterback and is similar to what major league pitchers deal with. You don't have to be a doctor to know that's a troubling comparison for a starting quarterback. Okay, so let's go down a little more. This is Gary Klein, his tweet, expanding on what Sean said. Sean continues here talking to the media. It is a tricky deal. It's a little bit abnormal for a quarterback. You know, some of this stuff is things that MLB pitchers deal with. And so it is something that we're kind of learning about on the fly. Okay. McVay has said multiple times that this elbow injury isn't really anything new, and he said it was something they were aware of back in spring. They tried multiple different treatment methods, settling on the anti-inflammatory injection for Stafford. The fact that the team is still learning about the situation, quote unquote, on the fly won't make anyone feel better either. McVay says they have a plan and they're going to stick to it, but this development doesn't seem to be trending in the right direction. Okay, so okay. Matthew is having a little bit of tendinitis on his elbow, and for any of you who has ever had it, it can be quite painful. It can be quite limiting. It's a bit of a crazy coincidence. I myself am actually going through something similar right now, and it's very it can be painful. It's not the most painful thing in the world, but it can be kind of constricting, and it can be really tough to just curl your arm and move it in other directions. It kind of locks up on you a little bit, depending upon how severe it is, and it can affect your ability to like lift things, like heavy things, in general, and you can. It is a noticeable difference when you have this in your ability to like just function normally. And for Matthew, it is a bit, it is a little bit of a concern because his job is to throw the football, and he throws it with his right arm, which includes the elbow. So, little bit of a concern. It's he got the injection, anti-inflammatory. They don't go into specifically what it is. If I had to guess, I would say it was probably a cortisone shot, but I do not know that 100%. Good for swelling, I've had those before, and it looks like that they're pretty much gonna bench him for camp for the most part, and they're gonna be giving John Wolford number one reps, which is good. Because worst case scenario, if Stafford is unable to go, you really want our backup quarterback to have practice reps in times with the starting offense. Okay, you need to get John Wolford some reps in case the worst is to happen. I am not saying that's what's going to happen, but you have to plan for these things. Okay, Sean said they are learning about this on the fly, which means that they were a little taken off guard with how this is developing. Okay, it doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. It just means that the next few weeks are going to be interesting because they're kind of, as he said, it's on the fly. It's kind of a wait and see approach, and they're basically taking this situation day by day. And the thing about the elbow is, man, and I can tell you, it sometimes, there's really no timetable for it. Like it feels like it's getting better for like it'll feel like it's getting close to better, and then you just tweak it just one way or the other. In Matthew's case, it could be like his elbow's starting to get better. It's like finally, okay, I've been icing it. I've been taking the anti-inflammatories. I've been stretching it, doing some exercises with it. It's getting a little better. But in Matthews, he's an NFL quarterback. So all it really would take is just, he throws the ball deep in practice and he just wings it a little bit too hard. And then it kind of gets re-aggravated. And then it's not something is like an emergency or would cause Matthew like a huge amount of pain potentially, but it would just re-aggravate it to where it's still not 100%, and then it kind of goes backwards a little bit, and now he has to nurse it again. It's very annoying. It can be very annoying in this way, and when we're this close to the season, and Matthew's gonna have to, he's gonna be playing against really, really big men on the defense who are trying to physically tackle him, okay? Physically hit him and throw him on the ground, and he's going to be pressured, and he's going to have to sling that ball out as quick as he can because speed is a big thing in the NFL. A lot of opportunities to re-aggravate that elbow, let me tell you. So I'm not saying this is a time to panic because it is not. I can tell you right now that John Wolford, our backup quarterback, we can win with Wolford. I promise y'all we can. I would not BS you on that. John Wolford is a starting caliber. I'm telling y'all right now, if the worst is to happen, we'll be okay with Wolford. Okay? Having said that, I do not think it'll come to that. I do believe Matthew Stafford will be ready week 1. Let me say that again. I think Matthew Stafford will be ready week 1. Okay? I'm just going through the worst case scenario here. The elbow, it is my fear that the elbow is going to be a story, not just in camp, but I believe the elbow is something we're going to have to be monitoring for the remainder of the season, for the entirety of 2022, because it's if it is tendinitis, if it is bad tendinitis, as they were quoted in saying, that injury, it doesn't go away right away. It takes a long time to heal, and if they're about to start playing NFL games, throwing footballs, it's the odds of it getting 100% during this season. Dude, it's kind of low. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. All right, but it doesn't mean he can't play. Matthew's tough, but it means that his ability to throw would be a bit limited, which is concerning. So, developing situation here. We'll keep an eye on it. I do want to stress this is not a time to panic. In terms of if he will miss any time, I do believe Matthew will play week 1. And we'll see just how he looks. We'll see how he looks, and throughout the remainder of the season, we'll see how that elbow's treating him, and we'll just keep our eye on it. So that's gonna be it for now, guys. I will catch you guys on the next one, and as always, go Rams.